Hello, and welcome to this video presentation. My name is Paul Brett. I'm a Senior Software Support Analyst supporting the Transformation Extender product from IBM. The topic for this video is 2 ITX REST API instances on Windows. Feel free to reach out to me on popular social media channels at Paul Brett IBM. In a native ITX installation on the Windows platform, it is not possible to deploy more than one REST API instance. In this practical demonstration, I showcase how to use Docker Desktop running on Windows 10 to deploy multiple instances of the ITX 10.1.2 REST API. Docker Enterprise is required for Windows Server editions. Each instance needs to be running on a different port. Each instance can optionally have access to different compiled maps and data source locations, or use a shared area. As a summary of steps, first, I'm going to export a REST API image from a pre-configured Linux Docker ITX REST API implementation. Then I shall import the tar file produced from the above process into the Docker Desktop repo. I will instantiate a container from that image running on port 8080. I will then instantiate another container running from that image running on port 8081. Finally, I will use curl to show that both REST APIs are up and running. To begin this demonstration, you can see that I have a PuTTY session open to a Linux box where I have Docker installed and I have deployed the ITX 10.1.2 REST API. Here you can see the image, and here you can see the container that I've created from that image, currently not running. The way I created this image was from the Docker subdirectory of the REST API subdirectory of my ITX installation. Here I used the build image script, which is what created this Docker image in the first place. However, I'm now going to leverage this image that's created on the Linux box, export it to a file, and then I'm going to use this file on my Windows box to create Docker images there. As you can see, I currently have no tar file. Now I'm going to issue the export command. Here we are using docker save, specifying the output file as a tar and saying which image we want. When I run that command, the tar file is created. As you can see, we now have a tx-rest.tar file. As you can see, it is 1.3 gig in size. The next step is to transfer that file over to my Windows box. Here we are on my Windows 10 PC. As you can see, I have the tx-rest.tar file uploaded from the Linux machine at 1.3 gig. This machine is running the Docker Desktop daemon, as you can see down here in the system tray. And if we run the Docker commands to list the images, you will see that I have no images listed currently and no containers. Let's bring up my document of commands that I'm going to be running and use the commands to import this tar file as a usable image. So here's my command. In my document here you can see the command that I used before on the Linux machine to save the image. This will all be included as part of the video instructions. So here's my next command that I'm going to be running on this Windows machine. And there we go, the image is loaded. Clear the screen and use the commands to list the images now. You can see I have an image. Still isn't made into a container yet, so this is the next command that we are going to use. We're doing a docker create. The name that we're going to give to this container is tx-rest1. This is going to be interactive. The ports we're going to map is 8080 on the outside to 8080 on the inside, and the volumes we're going to mount are :/data on the outside to /data on the inside. The image we want to read is tx-rest, the one we just imported. Let's run that command. Done. Let's start that container. Container has started. And before we go on to create a second instance, let's just check that that one is working. Here is a simple curl command that will run the one in, one out map through the v1 API and return the output in capitals. So we've received an HTTP status 405 method not allowed error. So I'm going to make a couple of more changes to my container. I'm going to copy a context.xml file into the container. I have that file locally. Here's the command. That's been copied into the container. Then I'm going to restart the container and see if the test then works after that. And now you can see that the API is returning the data that I put in. It's run it through the one in, one out map, and we have the resulting data, test data in capitals. Okay, so let's create the second REST API instance, a second container. So here's my second Docker create statement. As you can see, I've used the same syntax, Docker create. The name this time is ITX-REST2. The port that I'm exposing is 8081 on the outside into 8080 on the inside, and I'm using a shared data area, so it will find the same maps. Next I'm going to start the Docker. Then I'm going to copy the same context.xml file inside my second Docker using this command here. Final step, let's restart the second Docker container. Before I move forward, I shall once again prove that the curl command works against the first one, which it does, and then change the command to retrieve data from the second container. As you can see, I've changed the port that I'm connecting to 8081, and this also retrieves data for me. In summary, I've used Docker Desktop and an image that I culled from a Linux machine to deploy two REST APIs, both of them using a shared map area, although that can be different map areas, and both of them are using independent ports for the REST clients to connect to. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video presentation today. If you found the content interesting and informative, please hit that like button. Perhaps leave a comment. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, as I release content such as this on a regular basis. Feel free to reach out to me on popular social media channels at Paul Brett IBM. Thank you.